You're in the gate. And they're off. Beautiful start. Never seen before. American Cat is quick. New York Dreams hustled up in the pink, and Zookeeper on the outside. Zookeeper and New York Dreams go on, with American Cat third, followed by Mastermind, now fourth. Never seen before, 7 off what appears to be a quick pace next. Then Birth of Cool racing on the inside of Brother Reed, and at the back of the field, it's Fireman Dan. It will be Zookeeper to set an aggressive pace. Zookeeper sprinting full bore, 7-length advantage. Then it's New York Dreams and American Cat racing second and third, a gap of 5 to Mastermind, who's by himself, 4 lengths clear of Never Seen Before. Brother Reed giving a little bit of rain now on the outside of Birth of Cool, and another 3 back to Fireman Dan. They're less than a half mile from home, and Zookeeper continues to wing on the front end, although the lead is down to about 4, as American Cat is moving in from second. Mastermind is starting to pick up solid momentum on the outside of New York Dreams. Then it's 5 lengths back. Birth of Cool, Never Seen Before. Never Seen Before goes by him. They're followed by Brother Reed and Fireman Dan. Zookeeper had his fun, but now Mastermind has taken over at the top of the stretch. Opens up 2.5 lengths. On the outside, Never Seen Before is finishing strongly in second, and Birth of Cool in the center of the course, also finding his best stride. Mastermind, 2-length lead. Birth of Cool and Never Seen Before. Never Seen Before. Birth of Cool, Never Seen Before. Wins it by a head. Birth of Cool second. Mastermind, Fireman Dan, and Brother Reed. We're in the gate. And they're off. A pretty bad bobble for Conquest Celsius as Fiamina rockets out to battle with Steal the Spotlight. These two are 2 clear of Conquest Celsius, who's angled to the 3-path third. Then Born to Stay Thirsty in the distant trailer is Cat on the Run. It's Steal the Spotlight leading the way, pressed by Fiamina. A length back to Conquest Celsius outside of them. Born to Stay Thirsty, and then Cat on the Run. A 1/4 mile to go, and Steal the Spotlight is just in front. Fiamina on the inside, Born to Stay Thirsty, cuts the corner very professionally and is coming after Steal the Spotlight with 1/8 mile to go. Then Conquest Celsius. It's Steal the Spotlight digging in gamely, 2-length lead over Fiamina, and Steal the Spotlight with sharp speed goes all the way. Steal the Spotlight scores by 2.5. Fiamina second, Born to Stay Thirsty, and Conquest Celsius. In the gate. And they're off in the Providencia. Ancient Peace began well, so did Broadway Girls, who has a narrow lead by the stands the first time. Una Palabra third in the early going, then it's Pleasant Wave, and Paris Secret is at the back of the field. Broadway Girls, Ancient Peace right up alongside. And these two have pulled 3 clear of Una Palabra, and at the rail, it's Pleasant Wave. Paris Secret is 5 lengths off the battle up top between Broadway Girls and Ancient Peace. It's Broadway Girls now asserting herself and opening up a little more than 2 lengths. Ancient Peace able to relax in second, a gap of 4 back to Pleasant Wave in third. They are followed by Una Palabra and Paris Secret. On to the backstretch in the Providencia, Broadway Girls and Edwin Maldonado leading 3/4 of a length. Ancient Peace right to her again in second. 4 lengths back. Paris Secret moves through on the inside of Pleasant Wave to take third as they pass the half-mile pole, leaving Una Palabra at the back. Broadway Girls, Ancient Peace within about a neck into the far turn. Paris Secret, pink colors, clearly third. Then it's Pleasant Wave and Una Palabra. Approaching the quarter pole, Broadway Girls, ahead to Ancient Peace, a length and a half. Paris Secret angles to the outside, a threatening presence in third. They're at the top of the stretch. Ancient Peace. Here's Paris Secret and Pleasant Wave. And Paris Secret storms to the front, has to fend off Pleasant Wave. The other two have softened up. It's Paris Secret, Pleasant Wave. Paris Secret a length to Pleasant Wave, and it will be Paris Secret to win the Providencia. Second went to Pleasant Wave. Photo for third, Broadway Girls over Ancient Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, and Recalcitrant to the outside. And they're off. Fly of Fantasy. Here's Recalcitrant sprinting up on the outside to take the lead. Seldovia broke very well and moves up on the inside to challenge Recalcitrant. A length and a half. Fly of Fantasy now third inside. Dance Ella Dance. Then Graceful Starlet, 3 wide, 3.5 off the pace, and a gap of 4 to Cocktail Cutie. They're coming toward the quarter pole. Recalcitrant a neck in front. Seldovia battling on second. Then Fly of Fantasy now moving up on the outside as the field turns for home. Recalcitrant, Fly a Fantasy coming after her in second, and Seldovia at the rail. They're a furlong from the finish, and it's Recalcitrant confronted by Fly a Fantasy, and Fly a Fantasy goes right on by this daughter of Smiling Tiger with a sparkling debut, pulling clear for an authoritative 4-length W. Recalcitrant second best. Seldovia was third, three-way battle for fourth. "27 minutes. Minister Shane to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off. Holiday Arousal springs out on top. Lil Richards Bellow, Mr. T's Thirsty. Enjoy It Straight, Minister Shane. Compact group moves into the first turn with Holiday Arousal joined and passed by Lil Richards Bellow. Lil Richards Bellow to set the pace, heading to the 6 furlong pole. In front by just under a length to Holiday Arousal, who comes right back for more in second. Minister Shane close up, just a length off the leader in third, and Enjoy It Straight just inside of him. Mr. T's Thursday in the Lime, 3 off the leader. And that leader is Lil Richards Bellow with Hector Barrios in front over Holiday Arousal, Minister Shane, Enjoy It Straight, and Mr. T's Thirsty with 4.5 furlongs to run. And Lil Richards Bellow moving along with Holiday Arousal a half length back. Minister Shane continues a 3-wide journey. Enjoy It Straight, passed at the rail by Mr. T's Thirsty, 3/8 of a mile to run. Lil Richards Bellow still there, 3/4 of a length to Holiday Arousal. Minister Shane under pressure third. Mr. T's Thirsty at the rail fourth. And then Enjoy It Straight. They're coming to the quarter pole. Lil Richards Bellow and Holiday Arousal trying to engage in second. They've been 1-2 almost the whole way. Lil Richards Bellow turns for home and is asked to finish the job, pursued intently by Holiday Arousal, who's now a length and a half behind. 5 back to Enjoy It Straight, taking third, and Lil Richards Bellow just keeps on going. A strong performance from Lil Richards Bellow, who takes them all the way. Holiday Arousal was second, Enjoy It Straight, a clear-cut third. We're in the gate. And they're off. Sycon, Storming Chrome on the extreme outside is up close. Devil Moon, Stopping a Tray is in the firing line. And here's Chirag, who broke last, but Chirag has good debut speed and comes through on the inside to lead the field. Habeas is in the firing line, just 2.5 off the leader. They're followed by Jimmy the Boot, who has 4 to make up. Then it is El Oro on the outside of Stoppin' a Tray. Mega Moon is outside of that pair with less than a half mile to go. It's a gap of 5 to Agapitos, followed by Cupid's Crusader. Around the far turn, and it's Sycon back in front, 3/4 of a length. Devil Moon moves into second as Chirag is retreating on the fence. Jimmy the Boot is 3 wide, passed now by El Oro, who's a threatening presence in third. El Oro coming after the new leader, Devil Moon, at the top of the stretch. Devil Moon at the rail, Sycon, and El Oro is now in between those two with a furlong out, and it's Devil Moon clinging to the lead. El Oro trying to get by, and El Oro on even terms with Devil Moon. El Oro puts his head in front, and El Oro driven by Ramon Vasquez to get the victory. Devil Moon was second. Mega Moon came from way out of it, followed by Stoppin' a Tray and Sycon. Allowance, 119 pounds. The 7th starts the Rainbow Pick 6, 166,000. In the jackpot for a single ticket winner, 21 minutes to post. In the gate, and they're off. Pars and birdies very quick. Bluegrass Go-Go, not for lack of effort, is flashing plenty of speed. Down at the rail, Pray for Our Country. Irondale is now in 4th, about 3 lengths off the lead. Trusty Rusty is racing in mid-pack, starting to move up a little bit along the inside, followed by Anticipated, and then it's a big gap to 10th Street Dawn, who trails. Bluegrass Go-Go, not for lack of effort, 1-2 heading into the far turn. The favorite traveling smoothly under the front end under Edwin Maldonado and leads it by about a length. Another 3, Irondale is clearly third. Pray for Our Country losing ground. Trusty Rusty along the inside of Pars and Birdies. 10th Street Dawn is next, and the trailer is Anticipated. They're approaching the quarter pole, and Bluegrass Go-Go tries to shake loose. Irondale running a good race in second. Trusty Rusty making a bold move, angling off the rail and coming right after Bluegrass Go-Go at the top of the stretch. And Trusty Rusty has taken command with a furlong left to go. Bluegrass Go-Go had no answer for him. 10th Street Dawn is surfacing in between rivals, trying to get a piece, but it's lights out. Trusty Rusty is long gone. Striding out powerfully, he'll win by about 7 when the smoke clears. 10th Street Dawn was second, Pars and Birdies third, then Irondale, and Bluegrass Go-Go in a photo for 5th. Pulled to the outside stall. Walking up. And in. And they're off. It's a quick start for El Potente toward the inside, going out to battle for the early lead. Rosenquist, the pace is pretty sensible in the opening furlong. Just in behind them, Club Aspen in the red colors. Post Aspen is next. Racing on the inside is Half Barber Bingy, about 4 lengths off the lead. Then it's Flint Stroll, oncoming. A gap of 4 to Explain This Audit, and Bender is at the back of a strung-out field. It's El Potente moving into the first turn, has it by a length and a half to Rosenquist in second. Down at the rail in the red colors is Club Aspen, a close-up third, just a length and a half off the lead, and Post Facto taken in hand fourth, 3.5 off the pace. They're followed by Oncoming, who's in the red cap down at the rail, also has about 4 lengths to make up. A 3-wide Flint Stroll, Half Barber Bingy, a little closer than usual. Explain This Audit, and a gap of 4 to Bender. It's El Potente, who's been there every step of the way, cruising past the half-mile pole, in front by just under a length. Pressing him a little bit is Rosenquist second, and Club Aspen is down at the rail. Post Facto still close up, third on the outside, and only a length and a half off the lead. Oncoming is racing in between rivals. Half Barber Benji in the black is about 4 off the pace. It's another 2. Flint Stroll is losing ground with a quarter of a mile to go. El Potente with a host of pursuers as they straighten up. Club Aspen's got a clear shot, moving into second. Post Facto in third. Oncoming finishing with interest. And Half Barber Benji on the outside. It's El Potente still full of run. And El Potente just cruised all the way around there under Joe Bravo, winning stylishly by 2.5. Second went to Club Aspen. Oncoming from way out of it. Explained this audit was fourth. Flint Stroll is in a photo for fifth to complete the super high five. They're in the gate. And they're off. Very even start. Adair Manor and Big Switch get together right away with Bellamore third. Kirsten Bosch being pushed along in the early going, doesn't want to fall too far behind, and Smooth Like Butter is at the back of the field. It's Adair Manor to set the pace, and she opens up a length and a half. Big Switch second, Bellamore third. Kirsten Bosch is 4.5 off the lead, and then Smooth Like Butter. Under a tight hold, Adair Manor is in command early, has it by a length and a half. Big Switch trying to keep her on a second. 2 more back to Bellamore as they get into almost single file. Kirsten Bosch is 5 lengths off the lead, and Smooth Like Butter just outside of her. It's Juan Hernandez and Adair Manor passing the 5/8 pole by a length. Big Switch is in second still. Another 2 back to Bellamore in hand third. Then Kirsten Bosch now 6 lengths off the lead, and Smooth Like Butter. Adair Manor doing it very easily on the front end, trying to sneak away and doing so. It's a 2.5 length edge. Big Switch set down, trying to get closer in second. Then comes Bellamore third. Smooth Like Butter inches up on the outside of Kirsten Bosch. They have a quarter of a mile to go in the Santa Maria Stakes, and it's Adair Manor who's been there every step of the way. Bellamore on the outside takes up the chase with Big Switch. Less than 3/16 to go. Adair Manor, 2.5 length lead, has not been asked to run, and Adair Manor is back to her best. She pours it on through the stretch. A dominant performance from gate to wire. Juan Hernandez motionless as Adair Manor jogs home in the Santa Maria by more than 4. Bellamore and Big Switch. And they're off. Seismic Spirit began very nicely, goes out for the lead. Book Smart up close in the early going too. Down at the rail, Tigeron is close up, only about 2.5 lengths or so off the lead. As they get on to the main course, Book Smart is now the new leader, has it by about a head to the Bullion Bomber between horses and Seismic Spirit. Tigeron 3 off the pace in fourth, followed by Virat, racing about 7 lengths off the lead. Then comes Naismith on the outside of Really Big News. Another 4 lengths back to the next flight. It's Greenbow inside of Relaxed Artist and Mischievous Path at the back of the field. It's Seismic Spirit around the far turn with constant pressure. The Bullion Bomber racing in between, and outside of them, Booksmart. The 3 of them will arrive at the quarter pole together. Just behind them, Tigeron is moving in from fourth, angling to the outside. 3 clear of Naismith, and then Really Big News. Seismic Spirit digs in at the 8th pole. Tigeron closing while drifting in just a touch. Down on the inside, here's Greenbow, and Greenbow is absolutely flying. Time is running out, but Greenbow is coming with a purpose after Seismic Spirit. Seismic Spirit or Greenbow? Seismic Spirit holds on. Greenbow, a hard-charging second, 3-way photo among Naismith, Tigeron, and Mischievous Path. With dining packages, a craft beer festival, family fun day, chandelier room party, hat contest, and much, much more. Derby Day is a week Bold choice. And they're off. Smiling Amy rockets out of the gate to take command at once, opens up a length on Bold Choice in second. They're followed by Whimsical Air in third, and down on the inside, Dancing Cat is a close-up for just 2 lengths off the lead. It's a gap of 4 back to Riders Candy. See Her Beauty is next, and Fly Me to the Moon Baby, who was off slowly, is the distant trailer. They're moving into the far turn behind Smiling Amy. There's room, at least a little bit, for Dancing Cat along the inside. Bold Choice is in second. They're followed by Whimsical Air, pushed along in four, trying to get closer, 3 lengths off the lead. Racing 2 in front of Riders Candy. See Her Beauty starting to pick it up a touch with 6 to make up and a quarter of a mile to go. Fly Me to the Moon Baby is at the back of the field. They're at the top of the stretch, and Dancing Cat finds that hole now and comes through smartly to battle and take the lead. And it's Dancing Cat waving goodbye coming to the 16th ball. Pulls away by 3. Bold Choice clearly into second. It's Dancing Cat, yet another for Ramon Vasquez, who's on a roll. Dancing Cat wins by a more than a length. Bold Choice was second. Then it was Smiling Amy finishing third. Riders Candy was in another battle with Fly Me to the Moon Baby. They're in the gate. And they're off. Carmen Miranda and Lady J both out alertly. Now here's Lucky for You sprinting up very rapidly, and Lucky for You is quicker than both and assumes command. New Pi Lambda comes away in fourth with 4 lengths to make up. Ultimate High is the gray down on the inside. Not Now is right next to her, racing 3 clear of Ma France inside Denim and Gold. That group is followed by Shocking Gray as they run past the half-mile pole. Speed Lane is next. Corporate Violet is in that group as well toward the back of the field, along with Red Diamond. They're approaching the quarter pole, and it is Lucky for You, who's loose on the front end, has a 2.5 length lead. Lady J on the outside reclaiming second. Carmen Miranda is next, as now this leader, Lucky for You, has drifted very, very badly, and the whole race changes as the leader is now Carmen Miranda with 1/8 of a mile to go. New Pi Lambda is running on willingly, as is Ultimate High. Those two head and head. Behind them comes Shocking Gray, a 16th to go, and it's Carmen Miranda clear by 3. And here's number 4 for Ramon Vasquez, putting on a clinic. Carmen Miranda wins the finale. Ultimate High finished second. Then it was Lucky for You who came back for more and ended up finishing third. The battle for fourth involved Speed Lane, Red Diamond. Shocking Gray was in that group too.
It's not every day that I have an Eclipse Award winner as our seminar guest, but today we do, and I'm happy to call him a good friend. But of course, he's also a very avid horse player. His name, Alan Aldrich. Alan, happy Sunday. Welcome to the seminar.
Thank you very much. Great to be here in Santa Anita, the great race place.
And you live up north, so what brings you down here? We saw you in the winner's circle yesterday for race 4 with the Jeff Bondi. Very impressive first-time starter winner. You own any piece of her?
No, I wish I did, though. Terry Levenger asked me the same question. I said, I wish I did. But, yeah, the reason I'm down here this week, all of my trainers have moved from Northern California down to here.
They know where the money is.
No, Jeff Bondi and Phil Oviedo won a race the other day.
Sure did on Friday.
And then Quinn Howie is down here, and he trained a lot of horses for me, too. So my trainers are all here, and I've kind of pulled the plug on a little bit of the Northern California circuit, and good to see all my friends down here.
Well, it's good to see you down here this weekend as well. I talked about how you won an Eclipse Award. Tell us who that was. It was a very talented filly who obviously got you that piece of hardware.
Yeah, it was a great story. I was at home, and Jeff Bondi had called me in 2012, said he had bought a horse at the sale. He needed one more partner.
A daughter of Tail of the Cat.
Tail of the Cat, three-quarter brother, sister to Smiling Tiger.
Thank God you answered that phone call.
Yeah, I did, and he asked me if I could take a quarter of it, and I said, okay, and I called him right back, and I said, how about an eighth? He says, no, I need you in for a quarter.
And you guys go a long way back.
We go back. We were raised together in Pleasanton and known each other forever. Our grandmothers were friends in Pleasanton in the early
Did they 30s. Go to the racetrack?
No, well, Jeff's mom did, but my grandmother didn't, and so it was just a special deal. He said the horse is built like Jackie Joyner Kersey. And so I was in, and Jeff gave $150,000 for her. She was the worst kept secret on the racetrack at Pleasanton.
She broke her maiden up there.
Broke her maiden. It was just so fun. I got to watch her train every single morning. My office is 100 yards away from the racetrack, and it was just a special time. And every time she'd work, we'd have maybe 20 more people each time. And by the last time she worked, there was probably 100 people there to watch her work. It was a maiden race at Pleasanton.
Special weight, of course, not a claiming race.
Special weight,
right.
And we had like 150 horses or 150 people in the winner's circle that day at Pleasanton. We were so big we had to move it out of the winner's circle out onto the racetrack, and that was the most nervous I was for any of her races, being at the Alameda County Fair where Jeff and I grew up. From there, she went on to Hollywood Park. She ran in the last running at Hollywood Park at the Land of Lucy Stake. She won that. She went to Del Mar. She finished second in the Sorrento Stake, won the Del Mar debutante, and came here, ran in the Chandelier Stake, finished second in that, and then finished first, sort of, in the Breeders' Cup. She finished first.
She crossed the wire first.
Yeah, she crossed the wire. That's where we'll leave it. She ended up receiving the Eclipse Award.
Congratulations.
2013, and that was just a special moment for Jeff and my partners, and we had a really good time in Florida.
We're going to find out what happened to She's a Tiger and whether she's throwing any babies. Of course, she's a very valuable broodmare. We're going to talk to Alan not only about that, but of course, who he likes on today's 10-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the minimal amount of early changes on today's card.
Good afternoon and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place, where the track is fast and turf firm with the rail at 10 feet on the grass. Here are those changes. Blinker notes in race 1, start of the early pick 5. In the second race, just a blinker note again. Race 3, we have the program scratch of 3 Smoke 'em Easy. Overweights 1 and 4 each carry 2 pounds over. In the fourth, number 6, Luminiferous, 2 pounds over. The fifth starts the Rainbow Pick 6. That jackpot pool stands at $215,000 for a single ticket winner. Numbers 2 and 6 each carry 2 pounds over. The sixth is the Santa Barbara, scratch number 2, Jibber Jabber. There's no super high 5 wagering on the Santa Barbara. The seventh, number 2, Ultimate Gamble, 2 pounds over. The eighth is the grade 3 Wilshire, no high 5, with the scratch of 3, Rhea Moon. There is a revised morning line, which was furnished by our odds maker, John White, for the grade 3 Wilshire. The 9th starts the golden hour, pick 4, no high 5 wagering. Scratch 5 El Diablo Rojo, scratch 7 Royal Halo, 5 and 7 out of the 9th. Numbers 4 and 8 each carry £2 over. 10th begins the golden hour double, number 5 Foolish 2 over, 12 Irresistible Force 2 over, and scratch the program scratch of number 9 Hot Tea. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. Don't forget, next Saturday suddenly is Kentucky Derby Day. We'll get started early, and we have all kinds of dining and entertainment options. The biggest party west of Kentucky right here at the Great Race Place next Saturday. At this time, we tell you that we have 57 minutes to post for race 1 at 1 p.m. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner. Tom's special guest today is Eclipse Award-winning owner, Big Al, Alan Aldrich.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Alan Aldrich. He's an Eclipse Award-winning owner. Of course, he owns many horses still currently in training, and naturally, he's a horse player. He's had his head buried in the daily racing form for, let's just say, multiple decades. That's an easy guess. And of course, Alan, before we took a break for the scratches, we were talking about She's a Tiger. You recapped her racing career. Now, what happened to her as a broodmare?
She was sold to the Japanese contingent, and she's
Can you give us a price? Would you rather not keep it secret?
Yeah, she was sold for $2.5 million.
That's pretty good.
Which was a home run for my partners and I. And it was Fasdig-Tipton sale in Kentucky.
Were you there?
I was there. We were there for a couple of days and got to spend some time with her.
You've been in the business a long time. Excuse me for interrupting. What did you think she would go for?
I thought maybe about 1.7, and she got to 2 million. I actually wanted to raise my hand and get her back. I kind of felt bad at that point, but I'm just happy she's in Japan and went to a nice place, Northern Farms, and she's produced 3 or 4 foals. Nothing special yet, but hopefully she will.
How many races have you won in your ownership career, Alan?
Oh, wow, now that's a tough question.
I ask a lot of tough questions.
Yeah, I would guess probably close to 400.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
No, bought my first horse in 1977. And since then I've had a few different trainers and a lot of horses. I've worked as a jockey agent, and between that stint had a trainer's license for a few years. I just admire all the trainers, how hard they work, 7 days a week. And I was good for about 3 days a week. So that's why I let them handle the business after that.
Let's talk about one of your trainers, Quinn Howie, worked a 2-year-old this morning. You came out at 6:15, basically at sunrise, waiting to see her work. And then lo and behold, what did he tell you?
Yeah, well, she came out to jog because she's in today, and he just wanted her to get a look at the racetrack. I got here at 6:15. I sent a text, when are we going? He said 5:15. So I missed it by an hour, but he wanted to get her out early and get her some rest before the race today.
But that's symbolic of a trainer's job, right? Basically being here 24 hours, caring for the animals. Their phone is always blowing up. Like you said, it's an unenviable task for them to do what they do 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year with basically no vacation time.
Yeah, and I've limited always my calls to trainers, and I know they're busy, and kind of more of a hands-on owner I was. I was always at the track up north when everybody was there, and I love the mornings probably more than the afternoons. I just love being around the horses and seeing what they're like.
You've owned horses since the late 70s. Does being an owner help you become a better handicapper?
Yeah, probably. I'm very picky at the races that I do bet on. And like, for instance, yesterday I didn't make a bet. Day before I bet on one horse. So
you're very disciplined.
Very disciplined of what I bet on, and have to hear a good story in order to bet on one.
Well, we're hoping you have 10 good stories today. That's because we're going to put you to the test and have you handicap today's 10 race card, Alan. So let's take a look at race number 1, which begins the 50-cent early pick 5. We're on the turf course, 6.5 furlongs on the flat turf course. The rails today are at 10 feet. This race is for Calbred, fillies and mares, non-winners of 1 other than. We've got a field of 7. The morning line favorite, original morning line favorite was number 5, Clean Karma at 8-5, but the current betting choice at 6-5 is number 6, Boss Lady, one of 3 3-year-olds in the field. Can 3-year-olds compete against older this time of year, Alan?
Not in my book. I'd like to see it. The horse ran very impressively first time out, but 3-year-old with only 1 win running against some older mares, and I just went somewhere else on this.
Well, let's find out where you did go. Who did you like and why?
I actually went to the 3-horse. Hatitude. And
Did you hear a good story, or this is just raw handicapping?
No, I didn't. Christine Mulhall has been having a very good meet.
Yes.
Very good year so far. She bred this horse herself. It just looks like the right spot for the horse to be in. She had some multiple 5/8 works. I think the horse is fit enough. And so that's where I went with Hatitude, the number 3.
Blinkers go on off the long layoff. Haven't seen her in the afternoon since April of 2022. Joe Bravo in the saddle, currently 6-1. She's in for the tag because she's won this condition multiple times, being a Calbred, including beating Open. Would this potentially maybe be a broodmare prospect for some owners?
I would think so. I don't know how many broodmares she does own, but like I said, she bred this horse herself, and I'm sure it's maybe a sentimental thing that she holds on to it, maybe breeds afterwards.
We also see you do like number 5, Clean Karma, correct?
Yes.
And why she's also in for the tag. She's a daughter of Clubhouse Ride. What do you like about her on paper?
Again, she's got 4 wins, older mare, just in the right spot. Edwin Maldonado has been having a good meet here so far. One of my favorite riders, actually. Years ago, he rode an Arabian horse that I owned at Pomona, and ever since then, I've been a big fan of his.
3 and 5 in race number 1. So says our seminar guest, Big Alan Aldrich. Alan, we know that you sold She's a Tiger for a handsome sum to the overseas connections. Do you currently have any broodmares?
I do. I have one, Wise Rachel. She ran 3rd in the graded stakes at Del Mar. She won a little stake race at Golden Gate Fields. We sent her to Kentucky last year to breed the summer heat.
Did you bring her back here?
Yeah, she was there only like 6 days. She got
it was a quick date.
Brought her right back, and she had a foal in February. Haven't seen him yet. I'm going to go see him Wednesday when I cruise through up to Red Bluff.
You're a busy man. I know you move all around the western states of the United States.
Yes, I do. It's just I keep the suitcase packed all the time.
Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're on the main track. 1 mile's the distance. Fillies and mares, $20,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 races lifetime. We've got a field of 5. The favorite down on the rail from the Dan Blacker barn, number 1. Issa Court, 7-5 according to John White. What's this race according to Alan Aldrich?
I didn't. I went for the 2-horse Lucy Lil. It's a 20,000 claiming race. It looks like more than a 12-5 race. And I always like to take fillies that are coming off of a win and maybe moving up a little bit. And this is the one that fit my handicapping scheme. And so I'm going with the 2 Lucy L.
And Lucy L has 2 career wins, both of them right here at St. Edith. Tim Yakteen, of course, red hot. And he also has 2 runners in the upcoming Kentucky Derby in 6 days, Reincarnate and Practical Move. Good luck to the Yakteen barn. Race number 3, we're sprinting 4.5 furlongs for the babies. This race is for Calbred 2-year-olds, maiden special weights. Program scratch of the 3 leaves us with a field of 6. Number 6, Going Mobile from the Steve Knapp barn. 2-1 on the morning line. You mentioned Terry Lovinger in the opening. Did Terry Lovinger give you any info on this first-time starter?
No, he didn't. I see he scratched his other horse that he had in here. Yeah, that horse has been working very well at San Luis Ray Downs. In fact, Quinn told me that the horse had been working well about Peter Miller's horse, and I'm pretty sure it'll go off as the favorite.
And that's who you like. Or actually, you do like number 2, Last Call London.
Right.
I was actually referring to Going Mobile, but Terry Lovinger is obviously very active in this race simply because there's so many runners that were sired by Stay Thirsty.
Yeah, including the Quinn Howie horse, who he likes a lot. And I look for that one to run a good race today, too.
Do you go to many of the sales around the country, Al? You said you keep your suitcase packed. Do you go to many of the sales?
No, I don't. And when I go there, I feel I left out, and I don't want to just go there to buy a horse. I go there to see my friends. And I've never been to a sale where I didn't buy something. So sometimes I just stay away and let my trainers pick the horses for me.
What's your opinion of the current market right now? We obviously saw down at Ocala there were multiple babies that were bought for big price tags. Do you think the overall market is healthy right now?
It is, and I talked to Jeff Bondi this morning, and Phil Oviedo, he was at the sale, bought 5 of them. And he says, if you think they're going down, they're not. There's just a lot of high-priced horses, and he was fortunate enough to buy 5 of them at the sale this year.
Which is good news for us as racing fans as well, because you want to see that interest at that level basically move forward, because that means bigger fields.
Yeah, and they're going to come to California. That's the main thing to keep California strong.
Speaking of California, you talked about how you're a native of Pleasanton, California. And of course, the Alameda County Fair runs in late June, early July. I know that you're looking forward to that meet.
Yes, I am. I'm the chair of the racing committee there. And we're having 13 days of racing starting on June the 16th, ending on July 9th. July 9th, we're going to have the richest race ever run on a Northern California fair. It's going to be $150,000.
Wow.
We have a 2-year-old stake that same day. And of course, on the 25th, we run the She's a Tiger race, 3rd annual She's a Tiger stake race. And my wife makes a beautiful trophy every year for the stake. Larry Williams won it last year, which was great. They had some shippers from down south, but it was nice to see him win the race.
And I've been to Pleasanton. It's a lot of fun simply because it's got that fair atmosphere and it's a legitimate racetrack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it the oldest racetrack in North America or the oldest dirt track?
Yeah, oldest mile racetrack, and I think it's 1856. And a lot of history there in Pleasanton. We have a little Hall of Fame section there. And yeah, it's just been, it's right. We used to play baseball there. Horse racing. It was just so close to home. And always enjoyed it there and enjoy it even more now.
And I have a soft spot for the city of Pleasanton. As you well know, being a resident, downtown Pleasanton is a lot of fun. And I'm talking about after the races.
Yeah, everybody kind of migrates downtown. A lot of bars, a lot of really good restaurants, and it's 2 blocks from the fairgrounds. So it's easy to get to. There's no traffic. And it's just been I grew up, there was 2,500 people. Now there's 75,000, but still the downtown is magic.
Closing day here at Santa Anita is Father's Day, June 19th. And as you just heard Alan mention, Pleasanton basically runs thereafter. And so if you're anywhere in the state of California, I would encourage you to take in a day of racing at the Alameda County Fair, located in Pleasanton, California. Race number 4, Alan, we're traveling 1 mile on the turf course for maiden special weight, fillies and mares. We've got a field of 7. Sariha from the Michael McCarthy barn is the 9-5 morning line favorite. Talk to us about race 4.
I came up with the 1 horse. I just thought it'd be close to the lead, and then with DeSormo on it, it was just riding so good right now. I just thought he'd nurse this horse on the lead and go on and win it. Yeah, so I like the 1.
Fair enough. And you also like number 2. It's as easy as 1-2. Number 2's Magic Light. Hector Barrios also riding the turf course very well right now, going sprint to route. What'd you like about this daughter of Carlin?
Well, the horse has been shipped from Belmont to Gulfstream to Tampa, been all over.
Sounds like
place,
you.
and still a maiden. And I just thought with the 1 sprint race that it had, horse should be ready to do its best running today.
Alan, you're obviously passionate about racing, and you've been on many boards, including the TOC. What could we maybe do as an industry to get more fans either out and onto the track or get more involved from a gambling aspect?
Well, you just need to get the people out here. I always try to. At home, I get them onto the backside and see how well our thoroughbreds are taken
Incredible.
care of. I mean, a lot of people don't see that or know that, but when they get back there, they see. I said they get fed twice a day grain, and they get groomed every day. They get new shoes every month. I mean, they're treated so well. And at Pleasanton, I'll have some tours that'll go into the backside, look at some of the barns and how well these animals are taken care of.
Quick story for me, Alan. I didn't go to the backside, but my first time to the track was when I was 13 years old and went to Arlington Park. Grew up in the concrete jungle of Chicago, and I just fell in love with the beauty of the sport. Didn't know anything about the gambling aspect of it, and that's basically what you're talking about. They fall in love with the animal, and the rest follows naturally.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. In my later years, I love the animals, and that's one of the reasons I don't bet too much. And I can go there all day and just watch the horses and root for my friends. And then you end up having friends all over the country, and you open up the charts and you have to I look at Sunland, New Mexico, Oaklawn Park, and just have friends everywhere. And that's the greatest thing about horse racing too.
It's a great sport, and both of us are lucky to be a part of it.
You have friends at every racetrack you go to.
Race and some enemies as well. Race number 5 begins the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. The jackpot single ticket carryover now up to $215,000. That amount plus whatever is wagered today will be yours if you're the only winning ticket. And we kick things off in race 5, going 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. Once again for maiden special weights. Take note number 1. Text the Legend as a first-time gelding, but the morning line favorite from the Richard Mandela barn is number 5, Yellow Brick, who's 9-5 on the line. Who's going to win race 5?
I like the 7 Palagio. I threw out the turf race 2 races back. The last 2 races on the dirt have been very good. Ran 3rd, beaten a half length, and then 2nd, beaten 2.5. And I just think this is the day that he's going to fire and win.
We need to spread for exotic purposes, whether it's exactas or pick 6. Who maybe is Pelagio's biggest competitor?
I think you have to go with the 5 Yellow Brick. He's had 4 starts. He's run 2 seconds, 2 thirds, been very close in all 4 starts, and he'll probably be the morning line favorite too.
7 and 5 for Alan Aldrich in race 5. Race number 6 is the first of 2 stakes races on today's card. It's the Santa Barbara Stakes, going 1.5 miles on the turf course for fillies and mares. Also, race 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. Scratch the 2 leaves us with a field of 6. Duvet Day from the Michael McCarthy barn once again is the 5-2 morning line favorite, ridden by our leading rider Juan Hernandez. You're an owner, you're a horse player. How important are jockeys? Are they passengers or pilots?
I was fortunate enough in Northern California to have Russell Bays on a lot of my horses, and it was just always a privilege to me when he was there. I knew I was going to get always 110%. So I think it's very, very important.
What's Russell doing these days? Do you keep in touch with him?
No, I don't. He's moved to Fort Apache, Arizona. He bought a little.
Well, we should be able to find him there. That sounds like a small town.
That's a little place on the side of the road on the way up to Flagstaff. But yeah, he moved there, and I haven't been in touch with him. But he was just, I've got him to go to different racetracks like Lone Star and ride for me. Got him even to go to Idaho one day to ride some horses up there for me. So we've been very close, and I've been very fortunate to have him on a lot of my horses.
I've always been lucky enough to visit Northern California and attend the races at Golden Gate, and it always amazes me the talent level of both trainers and jockeys, specifically the jockeys. Let's visit that area for a minute. You know, so many riders have migrated from Northern California down to Southern California, going back to Joel Rosario, Martin Garcia. Now, of course, we've got Juan Hernandez, Abel Cedillo, Kyle Frey. The list is kind of endless. It's been a kind of a hidden nugget in terms of ability, both from a trainer's and a jockey standpoint.
Yeah, I think the trainer's part of it. There's a lot of good horsemen up there.
Blaine Wright, Steve Speck, Tim McKenna.
Yeah, and
Bill
they
McLean.
migrated here with like Jeff Bondy and guys like that. And they're just such good horsemen, and they've been in the business a long time. And like Jeff, he's so good at picking out young horses out of sales. I mean,
It's always been his forte.
I don't think there's anybody better that does that, and always been a fan of his.
Bob Baffert says, hold my beer, but nevertheless, he has a lot more capital behind him as well. Race number 7 begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're traveling 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. Another allowance optional claiming race, non-winners of 1 other than. We've got a field of 6. The only 3-year-old in the field, number 2, Ultimate Gamble from the Mark Glatt barn, is ridden by Mike Smith, 6-5 on the morning line. Mike won on the Jeff Bondy maiden yesterday. Did you guys go to dinner last night?
They did.
You weren't invited?
No, I ended up going with Frank Miramati, and
Let me guess, it was pizza.
Yeah, we did have pizza.
Shocker.
We drove 35 miles to go eat the pizza.
Was it any good?
Oh, excellent. Yeah, excellent, of course.
He's a connoisseur of pizza, let's face it.
Yeah, it was just great spending an hour with him in the car there and back, and eating some pizza in about 5 minutes and coming back home.
If we want a real nice pizza this evening, who's going to win race 7, Alan?
I think you got to go with the favorite. Mike Smith's on the 2, Ultimate Gamble. Very impressive in the last start, going 1 mile. Won by 2 lengths with Frankie Dettori. 3-5 that day. I can't see that horse getting beat today.
It's an interesting, he's a short price, but I would encourage you to watch his replay when he won on April 1st, particularly the gallop out. I've referred to it in my formulator notes as a monster gallop out, and Brad Free from the Daily Racing Form added Ultimate Gamble to his horses to watch list, saying that this horse has stakes potential. Not a stakes race today, but we'll see if Ultimate Gamble can live up to that potential. Race number 8 is the second stakes race on today's card. It's the Grade 3 Wilshire Stakes. We're going 1 mile on the turf course. The purse is $100,000 guaranteed. It's a Grade 3 event for fillies and mares. Scratch the 3 leaves us with a field of 6. The mare on the bottom, number 7, Quattrorel, is now 8-5 on the revised morning line. Give us your thoughts on race 8, Alan.
I came up with a long shot in here. The 6, Canoodling.
Is this one you're going to bet?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I like to hear it. Got a hot jockey in the saddle. Umberto Rispoli had a pretty good day up at Golden Gate yesterday.
I think he won 3 or 4 stakes yesterday. The horse, again, he came off of a layoff from May of last year. Came back in a 6.5 furlong race, stretching out now today. And I just think he's going to do his best running today.
Fair enough. Alan, you know, I look at the Grade 3 race and I see $100,000 purse, and it kind of breaks my heart because certainly the lifeblood of the industry is not only horse players, but horse owners. And we have to try and do everything we can to motivate and incentivize all of you to stay in the game. And of course, it's a financial business that has a profit and loss. What can we do as an industry? It's a question we could talk for literally 2 hours about, but in a thumbnail, what can we do to maybe increase the purse structure, not only here in Southern California, but, you know, even around the country, although they do have those casino supplements?
Yeah, we don't have the casino here. That's one thing. And the sports gambling bills, I think, would have helped quite a bit. And things are in the work. And I think in the next few years, it's hard to beat living in California. And I don't know it's north or south. I mean, I travel quite a bit. I was in Arkansas last weekend, and
Great
Oklahoma.
racing, but let's face it, Little Rock and Los Angeles is not a fair comparison.
Right, correct.
Should say Hot Springs to be
Yeah.
technically correct.
Hot Springs, yeah. You know, it's just getting the people out here. Just I think we're doing a lot for the sport. You know, just a lot safer for riders and horses,
100%.
and I think that's going to bring more people out to the track.
And the ship and win bonus that both Santa Anita and Del Mar have also encourages and incentivizes owners to ship out here, particularly during the Del Mar summer meet.
Correct. And we also have in Northern California, we have a shipping program at Ferndale at Humboldt County Fair.
One of your soft spots in your heart?
It's where I met my wife 30 years ago. So it's always been a soft spot. And I travel up there quite often. The crowds are just huge. They love their horse racing, and it's just a great place.
Everybody that I know that has visited Ferndale, and I have not, raves about what a great town and what a great track that is. A lot of charm and a lot of history. Race number 9 begins the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4. Speaking of Northern California, the Golden Hour Pick 4 links our last 2 races here with the last 2 races at Golden Gate. And we kick things off in race 9, sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track for Calbred, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than 2 scratches. Scratch the 5 and 7 leaves us with a field of 6. Number 8, Gulf Drama, is trained by your buddy Jeff Bondy, owned by Rusty Brown and Mark Stanton, a couple of guys we know as well. Mike Smith in the saddle, first-time Lasix. Did Mr. Bondy give you a story about Gulf Drama?
No, and hopefully he's not watching. I really didn't care for his horse today.
He's not watching. Don't worry about it.
He said he was going to watch. So, yeah, I went with the 2 horse. My handicapping, I always like to have speed horses that go a little further. I just think they're able to relax a little bit. And that's why I went with the 2 horse, My Man Bags.
And Armando Aguilar and Mark Glatt certainly have done well together. They win at a 27% win clip. You can see last time out, My Man Bags won this condition. Now he's in for the 40,000. They're kind of playing with the house money. They claimed for 8, they're in for 40. So it's like if they lose them, so be it. But the purse obviously helps as well.
Yes, yeah, he's just been running very, very good the last 3 starts.
Race number 10 closes out the day and closes out the week. Keep in mind, however, live racing resumes on Friday. This coming Friday at Santa Anita, we'll have a 9-race card that begins at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But first things first, race number 10, we're back on the turf course, the flat turf course, sprinting 6.5 furlongs. Also, race 10 begins the $5 Golden Hour Daily Double. This race is for maiden special weight, fillies and mares. It's a really good betting race. Program scratch of the 9 still leaves us with a field of 11. The lukewarm morning line favorite is number 5, Foolish, from the Timiak Teen Barn. Foolish is a 4th-time starter, but nevertheless, she has run well on the turf course before, Ellen. A lot of different ways you can go in race number 10. Which way are you going?
I landed on the 5 Foolish throughout the last race. They took it off the turf that day, and it looks like she runs a lot better on the grass. Look at her laying very close to the pace, especially stretching out to 6.5. I think she'll be on the lead, and that'd be my choice in race 10.
And you also like number 8, Unjokable, who's a bit of a price with the new Italian jockey in the riding colony here. First-time Lasix, as I mentioned, shipping back from the United Arab Emirates. What do you like about Unjokable?
I like the rider for one.
No
He was
kidding,
pretty
right?
impressive yesterday. He's
Did you
1
know
for
much
1.
about him before he hit
No,
town?
not at all. And they had a little article on him, and an impressive resume. And I've always kind of been a fan from horses that coming over from Dubai. I went over there to watch California Chrome run.
You're good friends with Art Sherman?
Art Sherman, yes. And
what was that experience like?
Magic. We had the trip already planned, and then Bondi came. So the trip just got so much better while we were there. And it was a lot of fun. We were there for about a week, and looking forward to going back someday.
You live on planes. Did that flight kick your butt, so to speak?
Yeah, 19 hours nonstop. We stopped there, and then we went further down to the Seychelles Islands, and then came back to Dubai, and I was there for the World Cup.
Racing's a magical sport, that's for sure, and we're lucky to have you as a participant, Alan Aldrich. Thanks so much for your time and insight today. Continued success, not only at the windows that you vary relatively infrequently, but certainly on the racetrack as well with all the runners that you own.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Next voice you hear will be our friend Frank Miramati updating us with any late program changes. Have fun, everybody, today, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast, the turf is firm, the rail on the turf at 10 feet. Here are the changes. Scratches or changes other than the blinker notes in race 1. Same story in race number 2. Third race, we had the program scratch of number 3, Smoke 'em Easy. Overweights 1 and 4 each carry 2 pounds over. In the fourth, number 6, Luminiferous, 2 pounds over. Race 5 starts the Rainbow 6, 215,000 in the jackpot carryover. Numbers 2 and 6 will carry 2 pounds over. In the 6, no high 5 wagering with the scratch of 2, Jibber Jabber. In the 7th, number 2, Ultimate Gamble, 2 pounds over. 8th is the Wilshires, scratch 3, Rhea Moon. Morning line odds maker John White has turned in a revised morning line for race 8. No high 5 wagering. In the 9th, scratch 5, El Diablo Rojo. Scratch 7, Royal Halo. 5 and 7 are out. No high 5 wagering. Numbers 4 and 8 carry 2 pounds over. And in the 10th, number 5, Foolish 2 over. 12, Irresistible Force 2 over. Scratch number 9, Hot Tea. Those are the changes for today's card. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. 24 minutes to post for the opener.